Hey everyone, it's Pup Luca.
And Dylan.
And welcome back to the Paw'dcast.
Enjoy.
And welcome to the Paw'dcast. Dylan, how are you?
I'm very, very well. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming along all the way from Sydney.
All the way. My arms are really tired.
I don't want to know why they're tired.
Well, it just flew in.
I thought it was hitchhiking.
Yes, that too.
That too. Straight into it. Let's talk about the newly sashed, the Hyde Sasha. I don't know what to call you.
Yeah. So, the title is Pride of the Hyde 2025.
That's it.
Yeah. So, I mean, like the Hyde is a once a month, all gender inclusive, fetish friendly event that we have at the Paw'd. Usually, it's the last Sunday of the month each month. So. And yeah, as many of the different Australian titles have, we have a bar title, and I have the honour this year of having be the representative of the Hyde.
Amazing. Congratulations on that one.
No, thank you very much.
There was a lot of competition this year.
Oh, yeah.
Looking at it, there was a nice mix of contestants as well.
Yep.
Like you said, different genders, different pronouns, everything like that. There was a beautiful mix.
Yep.
And I was keeping an eye on it from afar.
Yes, yeah. And it was an exceptionally an eclectic mix. Diverse, absolutely. But I think having the word eclectic describe it is a little bit more
such a good word.
Enticing. Yeah. Because there's a lot of energy behind it, and absolutely there was like so much energy and so many different stories and different reasons that they were up there and wanting to put their hat in the ring and putting their foot forward, and it was just absolutely incredibly beautiful to see.
Yeah. Speaking of that, what made you want to go for it?
It was my chance to really sort of show up in front of the scenes. So one of the major parts of my speech was that one of the major things that makes a community are the people that show up. And it's not necessarily just the people that turn up to events, that pay the ticket to get in, While absolutely that is an integral part of how these nights can continue, obviously with funding, it's more these events don't just happen by themselves, right? There's an entire slew of volunteers. There's the event coordinators. There's the people that volunteer through sponsorship and, all that sort of stuff. So after the past 2.5 years of living in Sydney, showing up as much as I could behind the scenes in how I could, be it creatively.
Yep.
It was my chance to go, right, it's time to step forward and show up in front of the scenes, essentially. And, throw my hat in the ring and, be a representative.
Yeah, amazing. And the upside of, like, the Pride of the High title as well is it's not kink specific. So we've got a lot of like the communities like the pup titles, leather titles, bears, everything like that are specific, whereas this one's nice and broad and
yes,
like,
absolutely.
There's no specific kink that you have to be or have an interest in to do it.
Yep.
So with that one, it's like a nice mix. Do you have any kinks that are specific to you though?
Well, I did wear my favourite bandana and matching glasses today, which are yellow.
You did.
Apart from them being our little favourite brand within our little family.
Yep.
Of course, I'm big into water sports.
Yep.
And I said, again, another part of my speech with Pride of the Hyde was that I have the ability to wear my fetish proudly. We can go into the importance of having the spaces that we do for the Hyde later, but I really want to talk about why I'm into water sports. So, I can wear my yellow hanky loud and proud, essentially, right? So, water sports would be my first and foremost, I would say.
Lovely.
Give me a bathtub and a trough any day.
I don't think we need any more detail on that. That was perfectly justified.
And quite honestly, use your imagination because that's usually how it ends up.
Fair. Always good. Yeah. Any other kinks that you would like to see represented more?
Look, I think wanting to put more representation on a specific kink isn't entirely up to me. I think what I want to see more isn't necessarily of a specific fetish or a specific kink out there more. I want to be able to see more of their people living what fetish they want to. So, if there's something that you're into, I want to know about it and I want to see it loud and proud, obviously. So, yeah.
Perfect answer. You've done this thing a few times, haven't you?
How beautifully ambiguous.
Or the over-the-shoulder hair flick.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I keep forgetting this isn't a visual
No,
format.
people cannot see this. You've fallen into the Cartier habits there.
Yeah, I mean, I am
Mother
her
is
child
here in
after
spirit.
all. Yeah, yeah. Rest in peace.
She's gonna get you.
No, look, after the amount of tequila she had last night.
Oh, did she? She ended up on the tequila. Oh dear.
But anyway, less on that.
Yes, more on that later.
Yeah.
No, so as some people may know, Pride of the Hyde isn't the first time you've competed. You've done a few different comps over the years.
Yes.
You are my sash great-grandfather twice.
Yes, yep, for representing both Queensland and Australia in 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. A couple of children in between that, but and I'm exceptionally proud of how well both you and my children have done.
Yeah.
It's since winning the Queensland title and then obviously going on to win the Australian title and representing international, the Australian puppet handler scene, especially in Queensland, has just exploded.
Yeah.
I remember seeing like the Queensland puppet handler moshes at like 20, 30 people. Unfortunately, living in Sydney, I can only see what is shared online, but even the images and photos that I see online, it's like 50, 60 pups downstairs at Sporties
it's
now.
insane how much it's grown.
It makes me so proud to see all of that, and obviously it's due to the committee that's on the team now and how well you guys are doing.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, and credit to it.
Thank you. And you were our first Queensland puppy as well.
I was, yeah.
Of the QPAR titles.
Yes, yeah.
There was almost like I'd call it like a hybrid title kind of thing before that. We had Queensland Leather Puppy.
Yes, yeah. So Panther is technically my sash father in the Australian sense, at the very least, because he did compete in the Australian Puppet Handler comp, so he was year 2017.
Yep.
But for the Queensland or at a state level, so he was the Bootco Leather Pup for 2017, which is more of a bar title. And then of the inauguration of QPAR in 2017 as a what's the word for becoming
incorporated?
That's it. Yeah, after becoming incorporated that year, I was the first for Queensland to be the official QPAR Queensland Pup for 2018.
Yeah.
Yep.
And this year will be the competition's 6th year, which is exciting.
Oh, yes.
Lots of new things coming this year, which we won't reveal just yet. So you'll have to keep an eye on all of the socials for that one.
Yes.
Yeah. Anything exciting coming up for you?
Look, I've got a whole lot of fundraising ideas in the works.
Yep.
I've got so a lot of the way that I still want to continue to show up, apart from attending as many events as I can with the SASH to sort of build, repair and maintain the bridges between the different community groups in Sydney, different fundraisers for myself, for my travel fund. I want to focus on travelling nationally first. Throughout my title year, I want to visit as many different state capital cities as I can. I've not actually been to Perth yet, so I want to go visit Jack's over in Wapa, and then head down to Geared, in South Australia.
Yep.
And then the Australian Pup and Handler Comp, I believe, is in Melbourne.
Yes.
This year, so that covers that.
Lots of different states jumping around.
Oh, yeah, yep. So that obviously those funds aren't just already there, so I need to obviously make a conceded effort to actually raise funds for that. So there'll be quite a few different ideas that I've got percolating in my head for raising funds for my travel fund, both at a state level, at a national level, apologies, and then eventually travel internationally for the International Mr. Leather Comp as well.
Amazing.
Yes.
Very busy.
Oh, yeah. Never not.
It's always the right way, though.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, yeah, so, I mean, one of the fundraising ideas that I do potentially have is, with my showing up being quite artistic and creatively, there's a lot of ideas in terms of creating art and having auctions in terms of in lieu of fetish auctions and fundraisers, because obviously being a photographer and graphic designer, these are my strengths and how I would sort of bring that to the community anyhow, so actually using that as a way to generate funds for myself to travel nationally is one of those things as well.
Amazing. And like you said, with the photography and graphic design, you are the creative genius behind HDG Image.
I am, yes.
So people will definitely, anyone who's got anything to do with the fetish scene within Australia has definitely seen your work at some point. I would be surprised if they hadn't. And in the last few years, you've donated pieces to geared for their
Yes.
photography.
Yeah. So each year, as part of the Geared Festival in South Australia, Sky Bartlett, who is of One Last Look Photography, he's a photographer that I've admired for a very, very long time in his own right, has put on an event called Provocateur, Fetish through the photographer's lens. And for at least 3 years now, I've donated pieces that get displayed, and then the money that is raised from them gets split between the South Australian title holders travel funds and Samesh, which is one of the charities in South Australia.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah. So like, in terms of what I do with my graphic design and my photography, it's not obviously just like limited to like donating obviously my artwork and my photography in terms like that, but obviously I've done a lot of work for quite a number of community groups across Australia. So
yeah,
the Paw'd logo that you see, albeit not actually the first ever Paw'd logo. There was actually a Queens and Pups and Handlers logo before, the one that I redesigned.
And keep an eye on Paw'd socials because that's coming out as
fabulous.
a little nod to the 10 years of Paw'd. We found the first one.
Very good. Very good.
Compared to the one that's currently used all over, which you designed.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And also the first QPHC logo.
Yes.
You worked on as well.
One coming onto the fetish scene in like 2017, or even 2016 was when I first stepped onto the scene. I've designed work for the likes of Bootco, the leather denim and fetish scene here in Brisbane. I've done work for a lot of the House of Savvy events, so Meat Rack, Does Your Mother Know, and their monthly Sunday afternoon at Chaps at the Oxford Stonewall Hotel. Then, as you mentioned, the work that I've done for the Geared Festival, donating work down to there. There's a fantastic gender-inclusive sex party called Hanky in Melbourne.
Yes.
I do all of their artwork for their events as well.
I still haven't made it to a Hanky.
It is
one day.
It is one of the best of those types of parties that I've ever been to. Just the energy that you get out of everybody playing there, the bodies that you see, the attitude, the energy. It's just so incredibly welcoming and open, and the music is phenomenal. James, who runs the events, just books the most amazing DJs. That's sort of Melbourne. And then there's obviously, I can't forget the events for Mardi Gras this year. I've done all of the artwork for the Eagle, so that there was included like a photo shoot and all of the graphic design artwork for all the events, and even down to Sydney Leather Festival. That's happening this year as well, towards the middle of the year. I'm designing all of their artwork and the photography for that as well. So fingers in many different pies all across Australia.
Just because you can't keep your hands to yourself.
Absolutely not.
But consensually, of course.
Oh, yes. 100%.
Yeah. And it's not only within the fetish scene that your skills have been used. You are definitely one of the biggest inputs of Queer Sisters Smackdown at Sporties.
Of course. How could I forget old home of Sporties? Most recently I was in Brisbane doing the photography and the artwork for Queer Sisters Smackdown for 2025.
Yeah, season 11.
Isn't that crazy? It's
yes.
been going for 11 years. I've been doing the artwork now for them for the past 5 or 6, I think.
I think about this will be your 6, I think.
I think so, and it's actually just come to mind. One of the first ones that I did do was actually included Katja. In the competition, where she's got like warrior paint on her face and she's like throwing.
Oh, you did that one.
That was me, yeah. And I think that was the first one where it was like very army print grenade spray paint graffiti. So that was the first one. So
that's the beautiful side of Smackdown is they pick different themes for it every year. So it's not just like your graphic design and your photography style is always the same every year for that competition. It's very broad themes.
Yep, very, very conceptual, and this year is quite fun.
They've done the camo one, like you said. They've also done like a cartoon heroes one.
Yep.
What was last year?
My favourite last year was the Grinder.
Oh, last year was Grinder. Yeah. That's right.
So, this is one that I didn't actually do a photo shoot for. So the general manager of Sporties, Chris, got all of the drag queen contestants to send in photos of what they would put on as a grid if they showed up on Grinder. And then
there were some very interesting photos on that one.
Look, it was a little bit different to what we normally did, but I ended up falling absolutely in love with the concept, because then I actually got to animate the grinder grid showing up, the loading symbol, and adding in the sounds, and obviously changing it enough that there'd be no copyright infringement.
Yes.
But just like the idea of someone unexpectedly watching one of the stories on Instagram, and then just like that bloop sound of grinder, and they'd be like, ah.
Yeah.
Just,
watch the gays panic in public when they
Yep.
just think they're watching a drag video.
Yep. But yeah, no. So yes, you're correct. I've done a lot of the stuff for Sportsman's Hotel, and specifically Queer Sister Smackdown.
Amazing.
Mm.
You've supported like literally every part of the queer and kink community that you could probably think of.
Look, I try to do a lot.
Yeah.
And that's not through anything, just trying to do the most. It's because I thoroughly enjoy working on these things, and when you can turn up to an event and there's posters on the wall that you had a hand in, or like there's like social posts that you see on Facebook, and it's an image that I've sent them for them to use, or it's artwork that I've designed for them, and you get even comments like this is the best these posters have ever looked, or something like that. It's those sorts of like, I mean, one in itself is validating, but two, it means that we even in Australia can put like an amazing foot forward internationally, that we have these beautifully well designed fetish events going on in Australia. So
yeah, it's all about showcasing, and it's the same thing. The gratitude of like almost like seeing it. You're like, I helped with that. It's like I get that from like making my fetish gear for people, making costumes, making clothing, doing merch, all that sort of stuff. It's seeing it on people walking around. Mm-hmm. I was scrolling through Instagram today from the Mardi Gras Fair Day was on, and like seeing it, and then in the background I'm like, that's one of my t-shirts. And it's like just seeing that and going, I did that. It's that little bit rewarding. Of like it's that self-validation kind of thing, going, I did do that, I am doing good, because like no matter what you do and who you are, it's like you always have that little voice in the back of your mind going, you can do more. This week
that's a lion's roar.
This
in the back
week
of my
the
head.
voice is a little in my head, and I'm loving it.
Very good.
We'll see what happens during Mardi Gras. Mm-hmm. I mean, that just happened.
Yeah, no.
Ooh, time travel.
Yeah, and I'm glad that was you, not me.
Yeah,
because even I did my best to dance around it. But we're continuing to draw attention to it now. But no, Mardi Gras has happened. Fine. Yeah.
Yes, Mardi Gras was great. Didn't you love when you did that thing in that place?
Not that thing. The other thing was better.
Oh yes, that one was better than that one.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Peek behind the curtain. We are recording this. Where's my calendar on the wall? They're pretty much 2 weeks before the parade.
Yes.
Getting up to that. So I'll be down in Sydney for that one.
Mm-hmm.
So if I said hi.
And I am really looking forward to seeing everybody from Queensland and Victoria turn up to Mardi Gras. It's always a fun time to have everybody in one place and give everyone big hugs. And
yes. Yeah. I'm keen to reunite with both my SAS children will be in Sydney. Then I've got Leo and Billy will both be there.
Fantastic.
Which is exciting.
Well, hopefully we can get all of the other Australian pup title holders into Sydney as well.
If we're all around, it'd be great to get a group. We managed to get a group shot at APHC last year on the staircase, which was great.
Yeah. But I finally got off my butt and had my leather patch put onto a vest.
Yay!
So no, I mean, in my defense, I did work with a local latex designer in my title year, and actually had a latex version of the Australian Pup and Handler patch made. So I do have a latex version of my Australian patch. Yeah. So when I competed internationally, I took my latex version of that vest over with me. So
that's really cool.
Yeah.
Is there anything you would say that's like a major difference for you between the Australian competitions and an international one?
Oh, I mean, like even within Australia, there's massive differences.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No, so like, and this was one of the things that I had a part in when we were creating the concept for the Queensland Pup and Handler comp, was we wanted the competitions themselves to be the best pathway to compete nationally and then internationally.
Yep.
So Queensland's actually the only state that have like a week-long competition.
Yes.
Like a lot of the other states, and I may be incorrect, so please correct me if I am wrong, but at the very least, like a lot of the Melbourne comps and the Sydney comps are all night, day in, day of. Whereas, like, for example, the Queensland Pump and Handler comp, it's split up and the contestants are judged over multiple days, multiple events, and how they can show up within the community. And then there is interview rounds and, you're judged on how well you can answer those questions. And then, because it's all to then better prepare you for the international comps, which are obviously a lot more strict. There's bigger competition, obviously. I'm as a tangent from that, but also a great segue, is like I'm so excited to have our international pup actually in Australia this year. So
yes, for the first time
I
ever.
know. Love you, Jax.
Yes.
But yeah, so I guess like the biggest difference would be that there's actual more preparation to then feed into a national comp and then into the international comp.
Yeah, every single comp is different. And even I found that going from the Queensland comp to the Australian comp, it's like they've kind of got like hints of each other, but they're still very different from what they do. And I think it was like 2 days of judging for the Australian comp, but then a full 3 for the Queensland comp. They actually stretch it out more, which is nice because it kind of takes some of the pressure off. You're not having to rush through everything, which I know with my chaos brain is not always fun, trying to be like, I need to do this, then this, and this, and then I'm overthinking and panicking and crazy, and it's not. It's just fun. That's all it is. And I think my advice to anyone who wants to go for a comp is do it and just have fun with it. If you're taking it too seriously, why? You end up psyching yourself out. You do, and it's not. You're there to make friends and connections. Like, I still talk to everyone. Well, obviously I talked to everyone for the Queensland one because it was just me and Bucky. But I still chat to everyone from the Australian comp. Like I chat to TJ quite a lot, Biru every now and then we have messages. Same with Taryn. It's like there's little bits here and there between us all. It's like we all kind of like keep in contact a little bit, which is nice.
Yeah, you end up really sort of adhering to like you are the class of your year.
Yeah.
So
Amazing. Well, as we're coming towards the end of the episode, I thought we would do something a little bit fun. So I found a quiz.
Your definition of fun and my definition of fun are very different things.
Yeah, well, I don't have a yellow hanky on. No, I thought we'd do a fun little quiz, slurping your water away. It's a very warm day.
Yes,
I have a habit of recording on hot days at the moment. It's great. It was cooler yesterday, didn't record. Today it's hotter, recorded.
Look, we love sweat.
It's fine.
Pits
we
are
do.
a thing.
Yeah, fair. What's the hanky code for pits? There's a question for you. There is one.
Hey Google. I don't actually know.
Hang on, I've got my phone. I'm doing a Google. I'm sure I've done this before. I just can't remember what it is.
I do particularly love that our House of Romanoff colours are flagging biting.
I mean, true.
Because they
You heard the stories of Cartier in Sydney? Oh, and more recently, just on a karaoke Wednesday. Just ask Whisper. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's not nearly as much tea being spilled about Mother as I would like in this episode.
Yeah, true. That's because she's not here and I'm mildly scared what's going to happen if she hears this. She gives off that energy of going, you should be scared of me, but she's lovely, honestly. Depending on the day. No, some days. Yeah, definitely run. It's always safe to run away from her because she will not chase you.
Yeah, or at least she'll try and just be out of breath almost immediately.
And then that'll be the day she forgets her puffer as well.
Yes.
I can't seem to find it. Comment below what the hanky go for pits are because I'm scrolling through these lists and I can't seem to find anything. Oh my god, I found it. As I say no, then I find it. Oh. Apparently it's magenta.
Love her.
Yeah, camp.
Love pink.
Yeah, apparently it's
Magenta.
Magenta, yeah.
Fabulous.
Left for suck my pits and right for I'll suck yours.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to go get myself a magenta hanky now.
I think I've got some somewhere.
Oh.
We'll sort you out. But yes, back to the fun quiz.
Oh, yes.
So we love a tangent. That's a fun drinking game. Anyone listening to the podcast, every time we say the word tangent or we go off on one, have a drink.
Well, there's no alcohol here.
All there is, but I've hidden it. Right, let's do this fun quiz. Or I think it's fun. And we made the deal of, I found one, but I didn't tell you what it was.
Yes, so I'm genuinely concerned and very much the same as curious.
So this will tell you based on... So basically, you're going to order a meal, I'm going to give you options. You're going to order your meal.
Okay.
And this will tell you what your love language is.
Oh, fabulous. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
I
not
thought
nearly
it'd
as
be
scary
fun.
as I thought it was.
No,
going
it's
for.
not scary. I was like, let's go for fun and playful. I was trying to find maybe like a kinky trivia quiz to test you. But they were all quite deep and personal questions. And I was like, this is on Spotify. I don't know how much of this we can say.
Fair. Very true. Very true.
Yeah, red
Right.
hankies.
Let's go.
Okay, I'm going to give you an option. First off, we're going to order a drink. Now you've got 6 options.
Yep.
So order your drink. Water, wine, cocktail, iced tea, beer, or soda.
Iced tea.
Not what I thought you were going to go for. Okay, this is an appetizer. Stuffed mushrooms, bread, caviar, shrimp cocktail, spinach and artichoke dip, or meatballs.
Meatballs. Yeah.
Camp. Mute that.
Like, is that like
No.
right, left hook?
Okay. Now, according to this, you're still hungry, so you're going to get another appetizer. You're treating yourself. We're not in a financial crisis right now.
Oh, Jesus.
Oysters, bruschetta, crudités, chips and salsa, bacon-wrapped dates, or cheese board.
Oh, be bruschetta or cheese board? Bruschetta. Bruschetta, yeah.
Okay, now, for some reason, you're going to pick a salad.
Okay.
Caesar, caprese, Greek, cob, kale, or no salad.
What's a cob salad? Is that like the cob loaf that you can...
No,
like,
a cob salad is kind of like avocado, bacon, chicken, tomato, eggs, lettuce. It's a bit like a Caesar, just with some extra stuff.
no salad.
So, list all the ingredients. I'm not going to eat any of them, but
Why
list
not?
them anyway.
Have you ever had a cob loaf? Speaking of tangent, drink.
Oh, so good.
Like, like that's immediately like,
Just love a cob loaf.
Also,
Oh.
I've not had breakfast yet, so I am starving. It's
I'm
not 3
broke
p.m.
this
in the
week, so if I
afternoon yet.
had food, I'd offer you some.
No.
Okay, we're going to go with a soup now.
Okay.
Tomato, French onion, broccoli cheddar, lobster, or chicken tortilla.
Chicken tortilla. None of those sound appetizing at all.
Okay, now it's time for the main event.
Okay,
the main
cool.
course.
Let's go. Let's do this.
Okay, seared scallops, filet mignon, grilled chicken, pasta, lobster, or eggplant parmesan.
Filet mignon, absolutely.
Okay, side dish.
Yep.
Mashed potatoes, rice pilaf, roast veg, polenta, stuffing, or garlic bread.
Garlic bread.
You can't go wrong with a
No,
garlic bread.
absolutely
You
not.
really
No,
can't.
it's a religion.
I know you love a good stuffing, but garlic bread.
I am the stuffing. Yes.
Before we get flagged for indecency. Okay, side dish. Steamed broccoli, roast potatoes, mac and cheese, grilled asparagus, quinoa, or potato au gratin. Or however you pronounce that.
What are the options again?
Steamed broccoli, roast potatoes, mac and cheese, grilled asparagus, quinoa, or the gratiny potato-y thing.
Roast potatoes.
Okay, time for dessert.
Oh, this is my... Yeah. Let's go.
Oh, this is a tough one. Okay. Molten lava cake, creme brulee, red velvet cake, a lemon tart, baked New York cheesecake, or chocolate-covered strawberries.
Lava cake. I'm not sure if you can hear me salivating right now.
A little bit. I'm glad you can't see the images I'm looking at with these lists because I'm getting hungry. Okay. And because you're treating yourself, let's get another dessert.
Oh, go for it. Let's go for it.
Okay. Chocolate mousse, black forest cake, macarons, a souffle, tiramisu, or no, one dessert was enough.
It's toss up between souffle or tiramisu. Tiramisu.
Are you ready for the reveal of what apparently your love language is? And you can tell us how accurate this is as well. Apparently your love language is words of affirmation.
Yeah, that makes sense. Tell me I'm a good boy and I'm yours.
Old-fashioned love letters, sweet compliments, and even simple texts mean the world to you.
That's fair.
Quite accurate?
Yeah, yep.
I didn't know that, yeah. Ordering a meal is apparently quite accurate.
Yeah.
I'll do mine later and we'll see how accurate it is.
Well, because it's either words of affirmation or gifts. Whatever the gift giving, because I love being able to give a gift and being able to receive a gift that is thought of, and like you can tell that someone's actually put effort into it.
Yeah, that's the best part about gifts for me is like it's not. I don't care how much money you spend.
No.
It's like, but if I can tell you've thought about it, or like I love something handmade as well. Mm-hmm. It's like there's even more kind of like passion and love and stuff into that. It's like that's
like a painted rock, but it's painted to be like a reference to an experience that we shared at some point at one time, and it's like I will treasure this rock until the day I die.
We're getting emotional about rocks.
I love
now.
Flowers.
I love flowers,
yes.
but my hay fever disagrees with that.
Yeah, well, yes.
Every time I've been given flowers, I get very sniffly and kind of sick for a couple of days. The upside is my favourite flowers are tulips, which you can't really get in Queensland because they grow in cold temperatures.
Yeah.
I think Bailey got me some last year as a gift because he remembered me saying I liked them. And I was like, I appreciate it. Literally, I woke up the next morning and they were all just wilted and dead overnight. And I was like, oh.
That's when you learn how to hand make tulips.
You can hand make flowers?
Paper mache?
Oh,
paper craft?
I thought like actual like nature. Okay, it's warm. My brain's not working. And on that note, let's end the episode there. Before I embarrass myself even more. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, you can find me on Instagram at Pup Luca QLD. Where can we find you on the Instagrams and socials?
I have a couple of different accounts. So a lot of my photography, my professional page is HDG Image, so at HDG Image. I've actually been delving into a sort of separating my... we're not separating, we're delving into a bit more of a fine art page. So that's dhodgon.art on Instagram as well. So dhodgon.art on Instagram.
Yep.
And then my day-to-day, a lot of what I get to with my fetish title through Part of the Hide is Dylan's.doing, DYLANS.doing.
Yep.
And that's, so that Dylan's Doing is probably the one that, if you want to keep on tab on what I'm doing with my fetish title through Part of the Hide, follow that account.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And we're going to end the episode in the usual way by doing the Luca honk. Are you excited? I don't think I've ever heard you try... I know, actually, I have heard you try it once before, many years ago.
I was going to say, if, at the very least, I do a parody of it, which every time you do it, I would deliberately do it bad. So
we'll see what happens.
I'm actually going to try this time.
You're going to try? Yeah. I'm so excited for this. I have no idea. And again, thank you everyone for listening. You can catch us next time. But remember, be kind, be camp, be kinky, and always...
Fuck me.
Wow. I mean, it was a good effort. All right. Thanks for listening. Bye.